Hi everybody, it's FIBO Group and you are watching to the Market Watch review. It is believed that the Chinese Politburo's midday statement signaling new economic support efforts ahead of next week's holiday has sparked animal spirits. The statement's unusual timing triggered a rally in Asia-Pacific, which lifted the largest market by more than 1%. Europe's Stoxx 600 is close to closing the gap left by Monday's lower opening. It has risen for the third consecutive session. Despite some earnings disappointments, U.S. futures are still struggling. The dollar is generally heavier. The Scandis and the Australian dollar lead the charge among the majors. Yesterday's gold recovery from the $1,872 zone is continuing and has reached resistance at $1,920. June WTI has reached 9-day highs of almost $107. Asian Pacific market. Although it was not common for China's Politburo, it made a midday announcement, which gave the statement more weight. Many took this as a sign that more stimulus would be forthcoming. Today, the Japanese markets were closed. They reopened Monday. However, they will be closed Tuesday through Thursday. Next week's economic highlight will be the Tokyo CPI at week's end. Yesterday's peak for the US dollar was at JPY 131.25. It is in the 130 zone in the European morning. Next week, the Reserve Bank of Australia will meet. The Australian dollar is now recovering from yesterday's two-month lows of $0.7050. Market of Europe. Expectations were met by the Eurozone's first quarter GDP and April CPI. In the first 3 months, the economy grew by 0.2%. This puts the year-over-year rate of growth at 5.0%. It is up from 4.7% for the fourth quarter. Bloomberg's survey forecast showed that the April CPI increased 7.5% year-over-year. Many European centers will be closed Monday due to the May Day holiday. Short covering in advance of the long holiday weekend, and in the wake Chinese developments is helping to lift the euro. Yesterday's sterling traded at $1.2410, and today it is trading marginally below yesterday's high of $1.2570. Market of America. Yesterday's U.S. GDP first quarter was disappointing with an annualized 1.4% contraction. Today's consumption and income figures were included in the GDP report. The most attention may be paid to the price deflators. Also, the Employment Cost Index for quarter one will be published. It is anticipated that it will have increased by slightly more than 1%. Canada's February monthly GDP report. This data has too little historical impact to make a significant difference. Yesterday's high of CAD 1.2880 was the highest in a little more than a month for the US dollar. Yesterday afternoon, it began to pull back and continues today. That's all for me. Closely monitor the news background and be prepared for all the surprises of the market.